What is up, guys, and welcome back to another episode now of the Career Mode. This is episode number 145, and I've got a couple of things to say before we move into today's episode, and that is a couple of things that you guys have brought to my attention. The first one being, one of the comments in the last video was saying that we should play against our rivals, which I understand, and if this series was one that I was looking to do long term for the future of the channel basically, and we weren't stopping it by the end of this season, I'd be playing every game, guys. I wouldn't be simming any, but because I've got to the point where in this series now where I'm only interested in trying to win that Champions League before we do in fact move to a different series or to something else on the channel effectively, I'm not too bothered about playing league games. So I hope you guys understand that. It's something that I know it annoys a lot of people to see sim games, but at the same time, I'm not interested in the league now, guys. It's pretty much won. We've got most of the point gap already secured. And in my opinion, if we were to lose it from this stage, even by simming, that would be just crazy. So, excuse me. I'm not expecting to lose this title, in honesty. So, I'm only really interested in playing Champions League games at the moment, guys. And I guess you guys can understand that with the fact that we haven't won it yet. We tried to win it last year, and we unfortunately got pipped at the post by PSG on penalties. That's a very, very big tongue twister there, but I managed to get past it. But to tell you guys something as well, we've got the second leg coming up against Schalke later on today's episode. It's going to be interesting to see if we can beat them or even get through. I think we take a 2-1 advantage into the home leg. So we have 2 away goals to fall back on, and we lead it by 2-1 at the moment. So if they win the game by a goal to nil, we're still through regardless of whatever because of the fact of the away goals. But it's going to be interesting, to say the least. So stay tuned for that, guys, and you'll know exactly what happens. And then, if we get through that, I unfortunately, I guess we won't know exactly who we're playing until the other legs are there. But at the same time as well, Schalke won't know who they're playing until the other legs are done. Because I think we are the first round, meaning there'll still be 4 other games to be played in between us finishing our game and then the day after. So we won't actually, nobody will know exactly the outcome in terms of who gets what in the next round until probably next episode, by the way. So even if we do get knocked out, I'll still show you the Champions League draw for the next round so you can see the teams and how they currently look and stuff. But, as I said, I'm not expecting to get knocked out later on in the episode. You'll have to see which way it goes because taking a 2-1 advantage back to our home leg, I'd like to think defensively we're sound enough to be able to see it out. And if that is the case, then hopefully we can do it. And if we can do it that way, I'll be pretty happy. I've spoke about our defense being kind of weak in the sense of we've struggled to see out 1-0 victories in that sense. And there's been times when I managed to do it. Don't get me wrong, my defense has been okay. But then there's been other times when I'm giving away sloppy goals because I lose my lapse in concentration, like in the 87th minute or the 90th minute. And to be honest, guys, I can't be doing that. You've got to be keeping sure that you're, focused for 90 minutes and you don't give away anything cheap. So later on, guys, you'll see the outcome of the second leg against Schalke. I'm excited to bring you it. It's not the most entertaining game, but it's still a pretty big one at that because of the fact that, of course, whoever wins that and whoever wins the tie will be through to the next round of the Champions League. And no disrespect to Schalke, they're probably not going to be the most toughest test we're going to have in our Champions League run this year. So I'm interested. But until then, guys, Coppa Nazionale time, semi-finals of it against Lazio here. If you remember a while back, we played out a massive 2-2 draw in the league. It was an unbelievable game to watch and play in. This time around, I came into this and I said to myself, I sat myself down, I was like, right, okay, last time out, I gave away 2 cheap, sloppy goals. And this time it's not going to happen. I'm going to come here, I'm going to control all of the play, I'm going to keep possession early on, get a feel for the game, and just generally knock the ball about and make sure Lazio can't touch it. And we managed to take the lead here with Fosu and Mensah getting an early goal for us. I think that was the first half, actually, that we went 1-0 up here as he celebrates with Gabriel Barbosa. And there was, in fact, the lead. It was 13 minutes, so yeah, very early into the game. 29 minutes, though, guys, we looked to get ourselves a second goal, and had it have not being on this right-hand side, if you give it back into Kimmich here. Kimmich goes inside again to Çalhanoğlu. Çalhanoğlu into Gabriel Jesus. Oh, no, Barbosa, sorry. I keep getting him mixed up with Gabriel Jesus. Gabriel Barbosa, and he sends his strike wide of that bottom corner, unfortunately. It could have easily been 2 there. We went into the second half looking to pretty much wrap this game up at this stage. I was all over Lazio. I kept holding the ball very, very well. And then the ball fell to Ousmane Dembele, who I thought was going to make it 2, but he didn't. He hit it at the goalkeeper. Decent stop in the end from the Lazio keeper. And then we went to the 77th minute. And at this point, Lazio realised that the tie was slipping between their fingers and they had to make a difference. And you can see there's so much space out on this right-hand side for Inaki Williams to exploit. He tries to dink the cross into the area, gets it really good, and there is Kimmich to make it. Inter Milan 2, Lazio 0 with only 10 minutes left to play in the tie. So as I said, Lazio realised the tie was getting away from them. They realised it was slipping between their fingers. Of course, they ended up with a 2-2 draw in the league, so there's still potential to do that with 10 minutes left in this one here. But, it comes an easy situation. When they realise they've got to go out and attack, they leave so much space at the back, and that's exactly what happened as Inaki Williams found himself in acres of it. Put the cross in, said Kimmich, get you on your end of that, and he does just that. So Joshua Kimmich makes it 2. And honestly, guys, at this point, I felt quite confident to see the game out. We kept Lazio to no shots in the early part of that one. And I have to say, my game plan worked. My game plan was to just go there, keep hold of the ball, and not give away anything too cheap until, yeah, 85th minute struck, and I almost gave the ball away cheaply. Eventually, though, it comes up to Fosu Mensah, who's got a run straight down the middle of Gabriel Jesus, and I was frustrated with him for not playing that ball sooner. But in the end, it worked out because the ball came back to Joshua Kimmich for the second time. He found himself in really good space, and he makes it 3. So 2 goals for the skipper on the day. Fantastic performance from him, and obviously the boys in general, because we had an absolute stormer. Kept them to, as I say, basically no shots, and we managed to make sure that we were in control of the game from minute 1. And that's what I wanted, you know. I wanted to kind of prove to myself as much as I proved to you guys, because of the fact that we had that game against Lazio in the league where it ended 2-2. I wanted to kind of prove to myself that the same opposition, we can completely outplay them in that sense. And the fact that we came away with a 3-0 victory, I kept the clean sheet, I dominated for all 90 minutes, shows me that I believe personally I can win the Champions League here before we end off with Inter Milan. I think, no disrespect to Lazio, of course, they're not going to be, you know, one of the tougher teams we're going to face in the Champions League, because they're not in the Champions League. But, you know, in terms of their quality, they're not really up there with the best. But it's still a very good sign to be able to keep them very, very quiet in the game and dominate it. Is a good sign. So I'm feeling quite confident for this game going into against Schalke here, and if we get past this, I'll feel quite confident for the next round, no matter who we get, in all honesty. So we came into Torino here, a sim game. Again, apology if you do not like sim games. As I said to you guys before, I'm not really interested too much in the league at this point. I think it's pretty much secured to ourselves anyway. We have something like a 20-point gap or something crazy like that, which is just mental. So it's the likes of having like Celtic in real life right now. That's basically what we're in the situation of. So you can see here we're taking on Torino. I'm not expecting us to lose this one here, as we do go 2-0 up for the 47th minute. Brozovic with the goal there before they did actually get a red card, did Torino. So that's not very good for them to see, but it meant that we would go on to get the victory out of this one and pick up 3 points as well, with Dalbert adding a third before the 90th minute whistle. And one thing I want to say quickly before we move into this next game, guys, I'm going to go off on a bit of a tangent here. If you haven't already watched it, I've got a Football Manager Facecam series, and a little plug, if you will, in here. It's on the channel, guys, and like I said before, I appreciate everything you guys have done for me. You know, the comments and stuff are really, really cool to see. You guys show me so much good support, and honestly, it's really cool to see. You know, I'm just effectively here doing what I would normally be doing, just playing FIFA, playing career mode, and you guys are enjoying it, so that's pretty crazy to see too. So if you keep enjoying it, I'll keep posting it, guys, and I really enjoy doing this for you guys, because it's really cool, as I say, to be able to see everything that you guys leave in the comments and all that good stuff. So yeah, thank you all again for your continued support, as I've said numerous times before on the channel. And if you want to follow me on any socials, they're in the description down below. And there's I think 3. I think we've got Twitch, Twitter, and also Snapchat going on at the moment. So if you want to follow me on there, you'll see what I get to on a daily basis. And also I will be streaming at some point as well, so make sure you do follow on there if you want to check out any of the future upcoming events on the channel. But here it is, guys, the second leg coming up here against Schalke. This is it. We win this game here, we get through. We lose it, it could potentially still get through if we lose it 1-0. If we lose the game, though, I won't be happy. If we draw it, we go through anyway. So we just need to make sure that we don't lose by more than a goal, basically. And then we're in good standing. We'll go through to the next round. But if you've seen the teams that are in there still, there's some big name teams. Look at that. For an absolutely crazy draw. It's going to be difficult. No matter what team we get next round, it's going to be tough. So even if we do make it through the Schalke game here, you know, we're still going to have a tough test ahead of us. Nothing's going to be easy from this point onward, but we can't take it too lightly here. We're not through yet. Schalke still could make a nail in the coffin, and, around not a nail in the coffin, could still do the reverse sweep against us effectively. So I'm not really hoping that happens, but we got the early chance here, 30 minutes in, as I tried to do the similar thing that I was doing against Lazio, sorry, and that was to try and control the play, make sure that we weren't giving up any cheap, sloppy chances to them. And early parts of it, I just spent it around passing. But then second half came, 74 minutes in. Again, we kept Schalke quite quiet in this one. I was pretty happy with the way I played here, as Gabriel Barbosa sends Fosu Mensah through, potentially to wrap up the tie here. All he's got to do is hit the target. He hits the target. No, he doesn't. I couldn't believe it, guys. I thought he was going to hit the target, and then he just did that. Honestly, when I got through with him, I was thinking, this is a goal. The form he's in, I was expecting it to rattle the net, and then this happened. What a save that is. That's an unbelievable stop from the Schalke keeper. And had he have not made it, the tie was done. I mean, it's done anyway. We drew 0-0. So it's very anticlimactic, actually. I was making out as if the game was going to be really, really good, but I didn't want to kind of spoil it for you. But then that's anticlimactic, because eventually it ended up with a 0-0 draw. So we're through anyways, 2-1 on aggregate. So yeah, it is what it is. And as I said, I can't actually show you the team we've got next in the next knockout round because of the fact that they haven't played all the ties yet. So You guys will have to wait for that for the next episode. I'm considering, though, I'm going to say right now, I'm going to predict. I haven't actually recorded it yet, so I don't know who we've got. I'm going to predict we have Barcelona in the next round. I don't even know if they got through, but you know what? I'm predicting Barca. If they got through and we get Barca, that'll be crazy. And as I say, I haven't recorded it, so I don't actually know the team that I've got yet. I don't even think I've skipped the day, so I don't even think the legs have played just yet. But I know they just beat Chelsea there 3-0, so I'm guessing they are through. In which case, I'm going to say Barca right now. I'm expecting Barca in the next round. If it happens, you guys heard it here first. If not, you know what? Any other team, I'll happily welcome them to the San Siro. And then when we absolutely smash them, that'll even be even better. As you can see, we end the episode off on quite a bad note eventually here, as we do lose, unfortunately, to Udinese by a goal to nil. Or, no, in fact, sorry, no, we don't lose. We draw the game 1-1. Dembele coming here to make it 1-1 in the dying few minutes of it. So, yeah, that's the way the episode is going to end, as I said to you guys. I don't actually know the outcome of the group stage that we've got yet. And although it would have happened now, actually, I didn't actually check it. So if it is Barcelona, that'll be pretty crazy. I don't think it will be, actually. But we'll see anyways. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully you guys are as well. And hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. We also kicked off our Champions League campaign with Hartlepool in tomorrow's video, I think it is. Or it might be tomorrow. It might be the day after. I can't quite remember when the videos go live and stuff. So yeah, we do kick off our Champions League campaign with Hartlepool in tomorrow's video, I do believe. So stick around for that, guys. You don't want to miss it. Other than that, that's it from me. Hopefully you've enjoyed, and I'll catch you all later. Adios.